Welcome to Lauren's Kitchen and Garden. I'm Lauren. This is my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really hearty pork stew. This is something that you can easily substitute a pork shoulder for with a chuck roast, or if you have leftover steak even. So if pork is not your thing, any other meat actually will do fine. Hey, I think that chicken would be fine in this also. So if that sounds like something that you want to do today, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and then sit back, relax, watch the video, hang out with me while I make dinner. Our meat of choice, and we are going to cube it. So I'm going to take my pork, but if you have beef or chicken, you go ahead and do it the same way that way. Our meat has been chopped into bite-sized pieces. I've cut away most of the fat, and now it's time to season it. So we are going to put in, and excuse me, I don't ever measure anything, but I'm going to give you estimates, okay? You go with what feels right to you. About a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. Let's do an actual measurement for this for you. For salt, I am going to go in with about a half a tablespoon of salt. A tablespoon and a half of paprika. A half tablespoon of black pepper. About a teaspoon of rosemary. And I'm actually also going to throw in a dash of soy sauce. Just a little bit. It gives it nice color. I think that was about maybe a tablespoon. We'll say an estimate tablespoon. Now, God's greatest tools were the hands. So get in there with your hands. You got a sink right behind you with some soap and water and massage that in. So now we're going to let that sit and just marinate for a while we get everything else prepped. Now that we are waiting for our meat to sit and marinate in its seasonings, we will chop up our vegetables. So look at these sad little carrots. I got these from the grocery store. It's all they had, so that's what we're going to use. I'm looking forward to garden season when I can do my own thing, but we'll take what we can get for now. We're going to chop up our carrots into bite-sized pieces, and we're going to put those off into a bowl off on the side. Next, we'll chop our onion. I have 2 medium-sized onion, baseball-sized onions. I've got my onions chopped up into slices. I'm going to put them in another bowl off to the side. And now I'm going to chop up my garlic. Okay, so we've got our pot on the stovetop, and we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of butter. You can use olive oil instead if you'd rather. You can use cooking oil if you'd rather that. I've seen people use lard. That's fine. You want some kind of fat on the bottom because we're going to saute our onions. Okay, our butter is all melted, and we're going to throw our onions in there and let them saute. Stir them around, put them in that butter. When the onions are just about cooked and they're wilted and they're a little bit translucent, you're going to take your garlic that you chopped up earlier, throw it in there. Don't be afraid to use your hands. Cook that down a little as well. When the onions and garlic are soft, we'll move on to the next step. Now that the onions and garlic are a little bit browned, they're translucent, they have cooked down, I am going to take about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And we're going to stir that up until it's all incorporated. The tomato paste, onions, and garlic have been cooking for about 2 minutes now altogether, at which point I'm going to add our meat that's been marinating in our seasonings for, at this point, probably about a half hour. I want to spread the meat out onto the bottom of the pot to make sure I've got an even layer, that all the pieces are touching the heat. I'm going to turn that heat up to about a medium high. Now we're going to sit there and let it cook for 3 minutes or so. Our meat has now been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes on a medium-high heat. At this point, I'm going to take a glass of leftover red wine that I had, and I'm going to put about half a cup of that in there. If you don't have red wine, you can use apple cider vinegar instead, and that will be just as good. Not half a cup of that though. If you use apple cider vinegar, 3 or 4 tablespoons. Give that a good stir, and we're going to let that cook for a little bit longer. And I want the alcohol to burn off on that, so I'm going to cook this for about 5 more minutes on a medium-high heat. All right, look at that rich, beautiful color. Now that that's been cooking now for about another 5 minutes, so maybe 10 minutes total, I'm going to throw in a box of beef broth. This is 4 cups of beef stock. I usually prefer to do homemade, but lately I just haven't had the time. I've been on call at work, and I've run out of homemade broth, so I've gone to the store and bought some. 4 cups of broth. Remember those little bitty teeny tiny sad carrots? I'm going to put those in right now. We'll give that a little bit of a stirry stir. I put a lid on that pot, and I'm going to let it cook for about 20 minutes. Now we'll go ahead and let it cook down until the broth has reduced by about half and serve it up with some bread. This was a definite winner.